As we reach the end of yet another, albeit particularly odd, footballing season, now is the time when players start to focus on those all-important numbers. What rating they will have on the next edition of FIFA. Though things can always change in updates as a season unfolds, everyone wants to start the new season with as high a rating as possible. However, not every star produces the sort of campaign which warrants a top-class grade, and sometimes a real-life dip in form can see a once-decent rating seriously tumble in just one season. I'm Gareth from WhatCulture Football, and here are the 10 biggest downgrades we can expect in FIFA 21. Number 10. Luka Modric. FIFA 20 rating 90. Predicted FIFA 21 rating 87. It may seem a little unfair to throw the player who broke Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi's recent Ballon d'Or monopoly into the downgrading conversation, but all good things must come to an end. The fact that Modric managed to maintain his insanely high 90+ rating in FIFA 20 after a pretty poor 18-19 season was quite the surprise. But do not expect him to repeat the feat in FIFA 21. The star's numbers haven't come close to many of the talented midfielders currently sitting close to him in the rankings. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne currently sits just 1 point higher than Modric on 91. If you think these two will be separated by just 1 point again once FIFA 21 lands on shelves, you may need to wake up. Number 9. Diego Godin. FIFA 20 rating 88. Predicted FIFA 21 rating 84. Time catches up to us all in the end, and unfortunately it looks like it may be honing in on the great Diego Godin. Though the 2013-14 La Liga winner hasn't performed particularly badly for his new club Inter, it seems his intelligent positioning and aerial prowess at the back hasn't been enough to land him a consistent place in Antonio Conte's starting lineup. It even looks like the star could be on his way out of the club at the end of the season. Godin has struggled to compete with the likes of Milan Skriniar, Stefan de Vrij, Danilo D'Ambrosio, and Alessandro Bastoni throughout the campaign. So it's hard to imagine him still reigning as one of the highest rated defenders in FIFA off the back of this disappointing 19-20 season. Number 8. Hugo Lloris. FIFA 20 rating 88. Predicted FIFA 21 rating 85. Tottenham Hotspur's season hasn't been one for the ages, and you could say that's down to a few things. They've been without striker Harry Kane for a fair amount of games, thanks to yet another frustrating injury. Their midfield hasn't looked up to scratch at times, and their keeper definitely hasn't helped keep them from dropping out of the Champions League conversation. 2018 World Cup winner Hugo Lloris has consistently delivered for Spurs during his time in North London, managing a minimum of 12 Premier League clean sheets in each of his last 4 seasons. This season, however, the captain of the French national side has managed just 5 in the 18 league games he's played for Tottenham. Of course, Lloris has been injured for a big chunk of the season, but he's still managed to concede a whopping 35 goals in just 24 appearances across all club competitions. Not exactly the form of an 88 rated shot stopper. Number 7. Christian Eriksen. FIFA 20 rating 88. Predicted FIFA 21 rating 85. One player who sensed he was likely sat on a sinking Tottenham Hotspur ship was midfield maestro Christian Eriksen. After admitting he would like to try something new at the end of last season, it was only a matter of time before the Danish star would be out of the door. He finally got his move to Inter in January and has gone from strength to strength ever since. Only he hasn't. Instead of producing the sort of displays which made him a vital cog in the Spurs machine, Eriksen has seen his form seriously dip. Eriksen may just be finding his feet at his new club and could turn it all around next season, but his subpar displays during the 19-20 season have ensured we won't see him strutting into FIFA 21 with another 88 rating. Number 6. David De Gea. FIFA 20 rating 89. Predicted FIFA 21 rating 86. Not too long ago, Manchester United's David De Gea was being hailed as undoubtedly the greatest goalkeeper on planet Earth. Yet off the back of a poor 2018 World Cup, De Gea's aura of invincibility gradually started to disappear, and a few mistakes began to creep back into his game. At 29 years old, De Gea still has many years ahead of him to recover the world-beating form we last saw a couple of seasons ago. But coming into FIFA 21, it looks like his days as one of the game's top shot stoppers are coming to an end. For now. Number 5. Mesut Ozil. FIFA 20 rating 83. Predicted FIFA 21 rating, 80. In FIFA 18, the majestic Mesut Ozil was justifiably rated as an 88. 2 years later, he's dramatically dropped 5 points, and coming into FIFA 21, his rating may be about to suffer once again. The 2014 World Cup winner hasn't been the same since signing a mega deal with Arsenal during the 17-18 season, reportedly landing him an insane £350,000 a week. In the wake of that bumper contract extension, Ozil's goals and assists return has dropped dramatically. After delivering 4 goals and 8 assists during the 17-18 Premier League season, an unmotivated Ozil has scored 6 times and assisted his teammates on just 4 occasions in his last 2 league campaigns. Mikel Arteta clearly isn't convinced by the once unplayable German, and it's likely he'll leave for free at the end of next season. Yet it's just a shame that a player only just past 30 has seen his stock drop so low so quickly. Number 4, Eden Hazard. FIFA 20 rating, 91. Predicted FIFA 21 rating, 88. This move hasn't exactly worked out so far, has it? Like fellow teammate Luka Modric, Eden Hazard has struggled to adapt to life in Madrid since moving last summer. Yet Jovic was only rated as a modest 83 on FIFA 20, whereas Hazard went into the game with a stunning 91 overall. Hazard completely ripped defenses to shreds during the 18-19 season for Chelsea. However, his return since throwing on the famous white strip hasn't been quite as spectacular. In an injury-ravaged season, the Premier League winner has only managed to score a solitary league goal for his new club, and this will surely have an impact on the 29-year-old's FIFA 21 rating. Number 3, John Stones. FIFA 20 rating, 81. Predicted FIFA 21 rating, 78. Back when John Stones was brought into Pep Guardiola's Manchester City side in 2016, the young Englishman was the second most expensive defender in football history, behind David Luiz, who we shall get to soon enough. Stones was one of the most exciting prospects in the Premier League, and many were counting on him to lead the English national side from the back for years to come. However, in the season since his near £50 million move, Stones hasn't exactly grown into the world-class player many expected he would. Frustrating mistakes, frequent injuries, the signing of Aymeric Laporte, and the emergence of Eric Garcia have all pushed the former Everton man down the pecking order, to the point where he now looks set to part ways with the citizens at the end of the season. Stones is still relatively young at 26 years old, so there's a strong chance he could prosper elsewhere, but he'll seriously have to improve his fitness levels and overall form if he wants to stay in the 80+ bracket on FIFA 21. Number 2, Jesse Lingard. FIFA 20 rating, 82. Predicted FIFA 21 rating, 77. It's been a bit of a tough old season for Jesse Lingard. Unfortunately, the Englishman has been dealing with a few real-life issues which he admits have been affecting his form. His mother became ill earlier in the season, and this has led to the Manchester United man having to look after his young brother and sister. On the pitch, his downturn in form has cost him a starting place under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's also been dropped by England during the 1920 campaign. After a stellar 2018 World Cup, it looked like Lingard was set to become a seriously important feature for both club and country. Yet the 27-year-old is now facing stiff competition at United in the form of Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, and Paul Pogba. The avid FIFA player now looks set to drop back down to a high 70 overall for the first time since FIFA 18. Number 1, David Luiz. FIFA 20 rating, 83. Predicted FIFA 21 rating, 77. Remember when David Luiz was the most expensive defender in football history? It's hard to believe the man who now single-handedly sabotages Arsenal on a weekly basis was once one of the most sought-after talents in all of world football. Though Luiz has always possessed the potential to create unwanted chaos, this season the Brazilian has taken things up, or should that be down, a notch. During the 1920 campaign, Luiz has managed to give away a ridiculous 4 penalties, with arguably his worst ever performance coming during his brief 25-minute stint in the Gunners Premier League match against Manchester City in June. Incredibly, Mikel Arteta has agreed to keep the defensive liability on for another year, meaning Arsenal could be set for another error-filled season in 2021. The sideshow Bob lookalikes performances on the pitch will be hard to ignore for those working on this year's edition of FIFA. After going pretty much 11 years without slipping below an 80, Luiz only has himself to blame for his inevitably crap FIFA 21 score. And that's our list. Know of any other big downgrades we can expect in FIFA 21? Let us know all about them in that comment section right down below. And do not forget to like, share, and click on on that subscribe button. I have been Gareth from WhatCulture Football. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon.